Hey, and welcome back. The van has made quite the transformation thanks to Quigley Motor Company, who did an excellent job doing the four-wheel drive upgrade. It doesn't drive like it did before, it feels more like a truck, and even Quigley calls it a truck in the sticker they added to the door. While there's no doubt that it's an expensive upgrade, considering the initial low price that I paid for the van and the wheel and tire upgrade, I'm right in line with a 2020 mid-optioned all-wheel drive transit van, as well as a 2020 Sprinter that's two-wheel drive. Not to mention that it's a real full-wheel drive that shifts on the fly to 4 high and has 4 low. Now I just got to figure out how to get one of those new 10-speed transmissions in there. So like I said, I can shift to 4 high at any time as it's synchronized. I'm just parked at the moment to demonstrate it. And then of course you need to go to neutral to put it into 4 low as it's not synchronized. And 4 low, by the way, is really slow. 4 low. Cameras just don't convey inclines very well, but you can see the road level ahead there and kind of judge for yourself how far that was or how steep that was. But hey, what about driving on the highway? I mean, normally whenever you do some kind of four-wheel drive work to a vehicle, you add bigger tires, you lift it up, you do all of those things, then you really compromise on the highway driving usually. But in this case, the upgrade has made a huge impact on the vehicle's handling all the way around because of the additional bracing, I believe, and the mass, of course, of the additional parts. And most importantly, the aero twitchiness has been reduced significantly. I still have some of that, but I think I've got a solution for that I'll show in a future video. Quigley says they use about 90% Ford OEM parts, which I believe are mostly from Ford F-150 pickup, and the remaining stuff is either fabricated by Quigley or they have someone fabricate it, but that's mostly bracketry, I believe. If you watch the antenna, you can see how much buffeting I'm getting from that big rig there, and I'm actually holding pretty steady, but you can see that I'm actually making him move around a little bit, and sometimes it's reversed, sometimes they make me move around. This depends on how bad the aero is on the particular truck. This is kind of a newer truck, so the aero is really good. Older trucks, really bad. We both move around a lot, not good. Surprisingly, small Japanese cars from the 90s, really bad aero. They will make me move over half a lane if I'm not watching for them sometimes. So anyways, that's just one of those things. Much better now though. There's the stock wheel and tire size, as well as the new MR701 Method Racing wheels that I got. And much to my surprise, I gained just a little over a pound in unsprung weight. If this were a racing application, someone would be trying to figure out how to shave that pound back off of that unsprung weight number, but I'm all good. Good for my wheel bearings and front end components as well. Method makes 3 different wheels in their Trail series that will fit the transit van. These are 17 by 7.5 and they have a 5 by 160 bolt pattern. As well, they have bead grip technology, which is basically supposed to keep the tire on the rim if you've run lower tire pressures and keep it from debeading the tire. I'm here to tell you, the guys at the tire shop had one hell of a time getting them to seat. They had to run a line straight off of the compressor and bypass the regulated line in the tire machine. So that really inspires confidence that they do what Method says they'll do. So of course I have one problem with all of this upgrade business, and that is the spare tire. Most vans put a bumper on the back with a rack to be able to mount the spare tire. I'm trying to keep the weight down. So I want to avoid that and get the spare tire mounted back up under the van like it's supposed to be, although it is too big to go in the original hole. That's the stock spare tire bracket that obviously will not work with the new wheels and the safety leash, and I hope the safety leash never gets used, as that means that your spare tire is dragging on the road or bouncing off the road. Not fun. I'm pretty sure the engineer that designed this bracket came from the bicycle industry or likes bicycles, as the cable is a bicycle cable, and that looks a lot like what is in the headset of most bicycles. I'm going to make an aluminum hub that will fit into the new method wheel, but still allow me to use the factory bicycle cable winch to raise and lower the spare. Since the wheel is the same weight, essentially, no problem there. And it won't fit into the original spare tire hole, so I'll have to make some additional brackets to be able to make the tire stay put. I don't want to put that steel pin into the body of the aluminum, so I'm saving that steel piece from the factory spare tire holder in order to basically sleeve the aluminum hub with steel and cut down on any kind of wear that can happen there, because it is spring loaded. Whenever you tighten it up against the bottom of the van, it has a little bit of spring load going on there, so if it bounces real hard or whatever, it doesn't snap the cable. The spring takes up that shock. The clip that came on the stock spare tire piece is not really reusable, so I just put a snap ring and found an even better snap ring than that one, made better contact all the way around. Use the vise and just press the steel piece into the aluminum hub. Very tight fit, doesn't need to be super tight. The cable is holding everything together, but it's not coming out of the hub body. Actually thought about putting an O-ring groove or something on it to hold it into the wheel whenever you're dealing with the cable. If you've ever done that on the side of the highway, that can be a real kind of headache to get that piece up inside the wheel and get everything attached to the vehicle. Then I just made a cone that will seat into the lug nut hole on the wheel to be able to attach the safety leash and get that attached back to the bottom of the van. Alright, so there's part one of the spare tire challenge complete. I can use the stock winch to put the new spare back up under the van. It's just not in the original hole, and so I gotta do some kind of bracket there, locate it, shift it back, get it away from the axle, do a bunch of other stuff, upgrade the suspension, put in a bed, some kind of heater, water tank, maybe a roof rack, a bunch of stuff to do. There's got to be something else. Sink, awning.